Assessing the trends and traditions in the marketing world. All an exciting one-stop shop for marketing buffs. Marketing Edge on TV. You are always right on time with the right people and movers and shakers of the world of marketing as they share their views and ideas on the business and challenges of advertising, corporate affairs, media strategy, and the unfolding exciting world of digital marketing. Join the trendsetters and key decision makers as they shape news and project into the future of the marketing landscape for 30 exhilarating minutes on this channel. Stay ahead, be thrilled to beat, be marketing savvy with Marketing Edge on TV. Marketing Edge on TV, promoting the brand idea.
Genuine business people desirous of success in today's environment ignore the taxman only at their own peril.
Under the oversight of this board, the FIRS will continue its transformation into a premier revenue collecting agency.
For up-to-date and accurate information on your obligations, duties and rights under the various tax laws in Nigeria, watch Tax Matters on TVC News Thursday 6:30 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folani. We're all in the midst of, the whole electoral cycle. In another 2 days or so, we shall actually be looking at the governorship and houses of assembly elections. But in spite of that, the job must continue. I'm talking about the whole job of running anything, whatever it is. But in this case, we're talking about Lagos State. Because I have here with me, I have the permanent secretary of LASEMA, that's the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Femi Okeosoyintolu. Femi, it's great to see you again.
Thank you very much. Good morning, sir.
Very good morning to you. Like your schedule, your duty schedule, because you've been that is your agency, has been so active because it's active every day. So when they said, Femi had agreed to come on, I said, well, don't depend too much on it, because if any emergency happens, I tell you, Femi is going to fash yours. But thank God, at least we got a quiet corridor. It looks like things, for a mega city like Lagos, things are not too bad right now.
Well, we thank God that
because you're monitoring.
Well, we thank God that we built the capacity, that I have other members in my team that can handle things.
Okay. But you're virtually at everyone. That's the nature. If once God gives you the strength, you're going to be there.
By the grace of God. That is the work of the Super Eagle. The Super Eagle must monitor, evaluate, and ensure swift response, well-coordinated emergency system in Lagos State.
Well, it's good that you go there, because about a well-coordinated emergency system, anywhere around the world, this will go back to equipment. So let's talk a bit by way of, opening it up a bit. You see, when there's an emergency, thank God for responsive and responsible governments. The ordinary citizen walking the streets just knows that somebody is going to come and do something. It doesn't matter whether a container or, what do they call trailers, all those 22-wheelers, if that one just falls on its side, people just know that, like magic, it's going to be cleaned up, the containers are going to be removed, but this must be a heck of a lot of specialized equipment. So let's talk about the investment of Lagos State government in equipment for, the emergency disaster sector.
Well, when you are looking at it holistically, you will discover that this administration, the administration of Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, has invested so much in emergency system in Lagos State. In terms of, firstly, the government has taken clear ownership of emergency system in the state, and it has provided the political will. All what we are doing from the beginning to the end of responding to any form of emergency is under the watch of Mr. Governor. And the most beauty of it is that apart from talking about the equipment, he has built the capacity. He has built the capacity of the personnel of emergency responders in Lagos State. Not only that, he has made sure that he has taken care of the welfare of the first responders. Not only that, he has employed people. For example, he employed more than 100 personnel into our fire services. He has purchased sophisticated equipment, ambulances. The type of ambulances that we are using now is advanced mobile ambulances. And you see, the good thing...
Because, so much is coming out there, I thought it might help a bit for anybody who just happens across this broadcast and wanted to know about the emergency capabilities, emergency response capabilities of Lagos State government. Maybe you could just sort of give us a pie chart, so to speak, of the sectors of LASEMA. You've spoken about fire. I also see you recovering vehicles. I've seen you on the waters. How do they divide up that all form LASEMA?
In Lagos State today, we have it's not only LASEMA. In Lagos State today, we have the groups with terms first responders. And the first responders in Lagos State, we have the fire services, we have the ambulance services, we have the LASMA, and we have the LASEMA. LASEMA is the coordinating agency of all this, which means if there's any form of emergency, we will move all these first responders. Because if you look at this world, the Lagos State, a mega city, the type of emergency we experience involve a multi-system, multitasking, and multidisciplinary sector. Take, for example, if we have a sort of overturn of a 30,000 liters of a petrol tanker, the fire people have to be there to prevent secondary something. We have LASEMA there. We have to use heavy-duty equipment. We have the ambulance services in there if anybody got injured, so that they will quickly take away the person. And that is the success story of emergency system in the state. Roles and responsibility are well defined, no overlapping, and we work together as a team to achieve the same common goal.
And it looks like you have the capacity, because what I mean by that is that sometimes more than one emergency occurs in a day, and I imagine that you can't just have one specialized truck and be able to do that kind of a thing. So, nobody wants to stretch you. The heavens won't even stretch you that much. But how many emergencies could LASEMA actually handle a day?
That is the good system in Lagos State under the watch of Mr. Governor. We have decentralized our emergency management. Today, we have what we call local emergency management committee, and in each of our local government, apart from the father, we have local emergency committee. We have local emergency response units, which means we realize that emergency disasters are localized. So we build our capacity from the local level. So if there's any form of emergency, our local emergency response unit move in there. We have zonal offices across the state. We have in Ekpe, we have in Badagry, we have in Ikorodu, that they will move in there. And if need be,
as first responders.
As first responders, they will move in there. They will define the type of emergency that we are responding to. We will be able to know. And
are reporting back to base.
Definitely.
In case there's a need for backup or specialized equipment.
The Super Eagle will be monitoring and evaluating the type of emergency.
How does Nigerian football come into it?
Yeah, it is part of...
What does the Super Eagle football team have to do with it?
The point is that, you have to brace yourself up. You have to pep yourself up to be able to
match.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And you have to know the characteristics attached to the board eagle. So if we are saying that the Super Eagle is monitoring it, you will know the characteristics of an eagle. So you can see how we manage emergency in the state, that we don't take it like
it's a code of some sort.
It is a code.
Okay, when you people say Super Eagles,
when they say Super Eagle,
we're not talking soccer.
No.
Okay.
We are talking about saving life. We are talking about managing the golden hour. We are talking about the discipline that is associated with the board super ego.
You know, okay, tell me something. I see that, first of all, you're passionate about your job, and that's a joy to watch.
We've been doing it for over 30 years.
And that's a joy to watch.
And we are built for it.
Indeed.
And we keep on seeing improvement. And the most important thing, the government of the day, the governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, give us enable factors, enable ground for us to work.
Okay, now I was going to ask about, you have some very interesting, well, it's called jargon. That is, everybody who's a professional knows immediately what is meant when this jargon is spoken.
Definitely, yes.
But the ordinary guy might not.
That's the uniqueness.
That's the uniqueness, because I was going to bring it to tell me some of those more interesting jargons that are actually crucially important. I think I've heard you speak about the Goliath before. Did I remember rightly?
Yeah.
There's a Goliath.
There's a way we talk about it.
Tell me about this.
When there is any form of emergency, look at what happened at the train crash between the luxury bus and this thing. We move in 3 important equipment of ours.
Now,
we move
for whoever was not in Lagos at that time, the emergency you responded to, you're talking about, is where a Lagos State government staff bus, I don't know, it looks like it tried to beat a train for whatever reason, did not quite make, and was hit by the train, and was indeed dragged along for so long.
Yes.
Just to sort of, explain. And then it finally stopped, but it was a mangled mess. And thank God that the fatality rate was not higher than it actually was, even though it pains one that even one, not to mention 4.
Okay. If you look at that incident, you will discover that is the dividends of what these governments have put into emergency system. And we are very, very happy about that. Look at that incident. We will divide it into 4 phases. Look at the rescue aspect of it. The rescue aspect of it was swift, prompt, effective. And that is why we are able to...
When you say rescue aspect, how
the rescue aspect of it is that...
How quickly were you able to get
It's
to
about
the scene?
10 minutes. By 10 minutes, we're on top of it. They call us on our...
10 minutes since the accident happened?
Yes, 10 minutes since the accident, we are there. And it was well coordinated by the Super Eagle himself.
What sectors were you deploying? Since you explained that there are all over the state.
Yeah.
So what
we
sectors
moved
from
in
what branches?
with the ambulance services.
From
the
headquarters?
The headquarters and the one that is near that place. Because our base, we have a base close to that place at Kappa.
Yeah,
we have a base. There's a base close to that Shogule at Kappa along the Agege. Those are the Papa Eagle sector. We move in the Papa Eagle sector. And the Papa Eagle sector move in with the emergency services. It move in with heavy duty equipment that we call Charlie, Goliath, and Elephant. So
I've heard these things before.
We move in with our Charlie. And we move in
What
with
is Charlie? Is it a crane?
Don't call it a crane.
Oh, no, I just wanted to know. It can't be Charlie. It's a specialized vehicle.
It's a specialized vehicle.
What kind of a vehicle is it?
It's super. It's a crane to you.
Okay.
To us.
That's all I need to
know. To us, it's Charlie.
Yeah.
Because it performs wonders.
Okay.
And whenever we are there, we have the assurance.
What's the tonnage of Charlie?
It's hundreds.
Oh, it can lift 100 tons of dead weight.
It can even move to 150,000.
If need be.
If need be. It tells you. And
in that particular operation, what you had to do, first of all, I imagine that you had to find a way to disentangle the wreckage of the bus and the train.
Definitely.
So that requires other specialists, right?
It involves other specialists, and it involves technical knowledge about the incidents. I have been handling emergency in Lagos State for over 30 years. So we have a lot of experience that when we want to handle that kind of emergency, we first of all dislodge the train from inside the bus.
Which is the work for certain specialists.
Yes.
It's not just something.
It's not just something.
It's not just using the power of the crane to just yank it off.
No. And we lifted it with Elephant and Goliath, and we moved.
Was the fire services also involved?
They are there.
Because I was thinking that they might be cutting. They might be doing whatever cutting is necessary.
No, the Lasema was doing the cutting. They are ready. Because we can have a secondary fire incidents. because there is still a diesel, a petrochemical inside that boss that will be drilling outside. If care is not taken, if we did not take care of that secondary effect, there will be a fire incident. So our fire people are there pouring water into the
the operation was ongoing.
Yes, as the operation was ongoing, using fire foams to handle the situations. And you can see that roles and responsibility well defined, well coordinated, and we worked together as a team.
That was a big one. Is the biggest, most recent one.
The good thing about that incident that we need to appreciate. Look at the rescue phase. The rescue phase was swift, prompt, effective. Look at the recovery phase. The one thing that I'm very, very happy with, when I look at what we have been doing before and what we did on that day, is the handshake between the pre-hospital care and the hospital care. It was swift, prompt, well coordinated, and the international standard triage that was done at the Lagos State Teaching Hospital. It was super. And you see, what the good people of Lagos State needs to appreciate is how the government of the day took ownership of that event. Within 1 hour when the incident occurred, while we are doing everything under the watch of Mr. Governor came in personally to supervise what was going on. Not only that, to sympathize.
Because you cleaned that place up in no time at all. So I imagine the governor still went to inspect what was going on. Because I imagine the governor would have gone to the hospital to go commiserate with.
Yeah, the governor went straight to the hospital. Because while we are doing our work, we are giving pictorial evidence. He was watching what we are doing. He was giving his own advice.
So that's just the way you work.
Yes.
The way you work.
Yeah, and the beauty of it is that within less than 1 hour, Mr. Governor has taken clear ownership of it and provided the political will. Because there could have been a lot of rumors that could have been associated with such incident, especially the time where we are in. He came in, he sympathized.
I think that's the governor on a sort of...
that was when he was visiting...
That's a condolence.
The condolence.
The condolence runs, you know.
Yes. Yeah. But, he came in, he took ownership of it, and the beauty of it is that while we transferred some to Bagada General Hospital, to Accident and Emergency Hospital, the First Lady of Lagos State visited, our First Lady, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo-Olu. She is a medical doctor. She visited Bagada General Hospital. She visited Accident and Emergency Hospital, and she visited the lawsuit within 30 minutes when the incident occurred. And with that, you can see the smooth coordination, the treatment. You can see that kind of mass casualty, mortality, mobility that was associated with it was greatly reduced.
It was. In fact, so much so that we had a reporter there at the time, and look at the time of our show, it starts at 11. And there was hardly any evidence apart from the normal, caution. There was no evidence.
The recovery phase was swift.
It was
Imagine,
swift. It was swift.
And do you know what it is? When we pull out a Charlie from its base, the cost implications.
That is this specialized crane.
This specialized crane.
Yes.
That you call crane.
Yes.
That we call Charlie.
100-ton crane. So that the rest of us, and if need be, can go up to 150.
Can't you see the work?
That was imminent.
What we did there is the dividends of what this government of Mr. Babajide
where is that vehicle?
Invested.
That vehicle we've just seen, because I imagine the police were investigating.
Can't you see the impact? Look at that middle. You can see that instantly 10 people are vulnerable to the damages because it's at the middle.
Yes.
About 10 people with occupied seats in that place. And can't you see that the mortality instantly was 2, onward to the hospital became 4, so 6 to, while about 10 people were really vulnerable to.
There you go. That's the impact.
Can't you see that?
That's the impact before you people had.
Yes. Can't you see that train into that bus?
Yeah.
And we were systematic We moved the train backward, we moved the bus outward, and we're able to
lift it, put it on a flat bed. And where is that accident vehicle now?
Now it's now at the task force yard at Alausa.
Because I imagine normally it's an accident scene.
Yes.
And we are normally told that until the police are done with it or whatever the investigating authority is, you don't touch an accident scene. But in this case, it's a special kind of a situation, right?
No, the police people are with.
Yes, okay.
The police people are with.
So they'll take all the photos necessary.
Take all the
maybe videos as well.
They take videos.
So you can actually recall
we have the
the
Commissioner
scene.
of Police of Railway Stations in there.
Everybody
we have the
in
Commissioner of Police Lagos State. We have the AIG of Zone 2. They were there, and the police work with us as a team. In fact, police too are our primary responders. They are part of our responders.
Indeed. Well, you guys very well done. As I said, it happens every day. There's one emergency or the other. So much so that. And that goes to good thinking with the government because a mega city like this, metropolitan city, modern city, things are going to happen, and you can't allow things to just clog up the rest of the society that is being governed. So that is that. Now the other one that happened shortly before this was the Ajegunle,
the
Akere spare parts market that you people also went in there. Is there any progress report on that? Because there were situations of people going there and saying that take money, I will build a market. Has Lagos State come on board and said anything about that market?
Definitely. When the incident occurred 3:02 a.m., we move in there, all the first responders, and we are able to curtail the spread of the fire. If you look at that location, you will see beside it, we have a fire service, we have a petrol station there. In front of it, we have school. Let's imagine if the first responders were not there. You can see what will happen to the petrol station.
Do you know, have investigations shown what caused that arcade fire?
The investigation is going on. But the beauty of it is that Governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, moved in there. He went there. He communicated with the executives, and he promised them a lot of things. He promised them rebuilding, reconstruction.
Lagos State government is going to rebuild that market.
The government has taken ownership of it. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And in fact, we've commenced the journey immediately. He promised them rebuilding, reconstructions of that place, and he promised them financial assistance to the occupant that have lost their goods.
Okay.
So immediately we have moved in here. We have cleared the place. We've sealed the place up, and development will commence immediately.
As to what caused the fire, you say you want to be careful about that.
Not
right?
that we are careful.
So
we've set up a committee.
Because we were hearing we were hearing, and it's good that you are here, that maybe the petrol was stored in some, and Lagos will come up with anything.
Definitely.
Anything.
Definitely.
So was any of that even really true? Was there any, did you discover any petrol being stored?
But you see, it's a normal knowledge, it's a normal thing in Lagos State market, especially that kind of market that they are selling spare parts.
Okay, but you don't really know what caused the fire.
No. The investigation is going on.
Okay.
I don't want to preempt
naturally.
The investigation is going on. We are going to look at it holistically. Okay. We are going to come out and tell good people of Lagos State what really caused the incident.
And crossing back to the bus train incident, again, have you found out, investigation is
ongoing. The Ministry of Justice has taken charge of the whole
because
thing.
I read in the press something about the driver saying that his vehicle was faulty, that he's so sorry, he wants to be forgiven, but that the vehicle had a fault. That's out there on.
We can't judge. The Ministry of Justice has taken charge. They will look at it holistically. They will check the accident bureau too are carried out investigations on it. The Minister of Transport have directed that the accident bureau should look into what really causes it, because there must be a lesson learned from all this. But the good thing is that the rescue, the recovery, the management of the patients are well done and well coordinated. And it shows the dividends of the resources that Mr. Governor, Mr. Babajide Olushola Sanwo-Olu, has invested in the emergency system in the state. And it shows how...
Do you have a figure of how many billions?
A lot.
I know a lot.
No,
but do you have a figure? Because
believe me.
Let me bring it down a bit. How many?
Yes.
You have the figures.
It's about 65 fire engines.
Okay.
And not only that, fire stations were improved on, and some fire stations were built. Look at what happened at Ajegule. It was because they've just built a fire service stations at Ajegule. That is what made our response to be swift, prompt, effective. Not only that, he has employed more than 100 people into the emergency services, fire services. He has employed people in ambulance services. He has purchased advanced ambulance services. So it's billions of naira.
Okay, they just brought the Akere market.
Yeah, we cleared the Akere market.
Yeah.
Ready, we are working with the local government.
Okay, so this is the site of the
yes,
accident.
you can see us that we have bulldozed it, we clear it.
Is that your Charlie by any chance?
That's Buffalo.
That is Buffalo.
Can't you see the Buffalo walking?
I can see the...
Can't you see the appendages walking? That's Buffalo.
Femi, you're so passionate. Now, I can see this crane. What's the tonnage of this? Buffalo. I can see this Buffalo.
This Buffalo. This is heavy. This is about 650 DL. You call it excavator.
Okay, Sorry, my mistake. It's not. I didn't see it properly. It's an excavator. It's not a crane.
It's not a crane.
It's an excavator.
Yeah, this is a Buffalo. You can see it. You can see the appendages. And believe me, by next month or close to July, the governor and its ESCO members has approved a 5-year plan for Lasema and has approved purchasing sophisticated equipment for Lasema. You know what that means? That's billions of naira.
Billions of naira,
yes,
indeed.
And you can see, and the difference is clear. If you look at the statistics now, morbidity, mortality that is associated with our disaster now has greatly reduced. Can't you understand? Can't you appreciate what's happened during that train crash? For us to have the head of service on the ground at Lasut, for us to have the deputy governor, the governor at Lasut, for the first lady to be moving around of all these hospitals where they are receiving treatment.
That's compassion.
It's
That's
not
compassion.
only compassion.
What is it again?
It shows a lot of things put in place.
Compassion, no.
Compassion,
no.
Compassion, if they have not,
that you feel a whole head of service, a whole first lady,
imagine
a whole first lady. They wanted to be involved.
Let me tell you something.
To be sure about the well-being of all concerned.
If they have not invested in it, can they have confidence of coming to it?
Okay.
Can they have confidence?
Okay.
Because they know that they have invested in this.
And so they want to see that it is being done right.
Not only that, they want to see
that it's being done skillfully. Because we know spent the money.
We spent the money.
People we put in there,
yes.
are they on the job? Are they on top of the job?
The incident now challenged what they put in. You know, you envisage something. The incident now challenged what they put in. How are these people going to use it? Are they going to use it properly? Are we going to get better things from it? And they can see clearly.
All of this
they did marvelous.
The management of a city like Lagos, first of all, you look at your name, and it is the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency. There are other aspects of the society, like you people are an existing team, because they know where everything is,
yeah,
and
they know the level they are,
and how
they know
things
the
are
level
going,
they are taking it,
and they know the expertise involved and all of that.
Yes.
And as you just said that as we speak, you said they've approved another 5-year development.
5-year development plan.
Development plan.
Yeah, and they are going to purchase sophisticated. You are going to have more of Charlies. We are going to have Charlie in Badagry, Charlie in Apapa, Charlie in Ekpe. And you know what that means? Mortality, morbidity,
more safety,
more safety,
more security,
more
and
security
safety in the metropolis of
in
Lagos.
the metropolis of Lagos.
Well, I want to thank you very much. I know that if we let you, you'd go on for another 2 hours, just speaking about the capabilities of, emergency recovery in Lagos State, because you guys have done everybody proud.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you.
And that is why in Lagos State, what they call disaster in other places is emergency, because we have the capacity, we have the capability, we have the equipment to handle any form of emergency in the states.
We're going to have to leave it there. Dr. Femi Okeosanyintolu, our Permanent Secretary, LASEMA. LASEMA is the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency. Thank you very much for coming.
Don't forget our emergency number. It's very, very important.
Okay,
because it's the point of entry
to
to emergency services.
Give it to me.
Our emergency number is 112 or 767. When you call us on that number, you can be rest assured we will be there.
112 or 767. Whatever the emergency is.
And we educate you how to handle it.
I already thanked you and I closed, and then you're beginning another
It's
chapter.
Lagos State we are talking about.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
We are talking about Lagos
Thank
State
you very much,
under
Dr.
the watch
Femi.
of Mr. Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu.
And a fine job he's done. Well,
Perfectly.
Right. So thank you very much, Dr. Okeosanyintolu. Thank you very much for coming on. We'll take a break now. We'll be right back and we'll go on to some other subjects. Stay with us, please.
It's the 7th successive general election in Nigeria's 23 years of unbroken democratic rule.
With more than 93 million registered voters, this is Africa's largest election, having over 75% of voters between the age of 18 and 49.
This election is a mass operation, with voting in over 176,000 polling units across 774 local government areas. You need a station like TVC News for minute-by-minute account.
From the presidential and national assembly elections down to the governorship and state houses of assembly poll,
we are on ground every step of the way with live coverage across the 36 states and the FCT.
It is an election like no other. So stay tuned to TVC News for in-depth coverage, breaking news, exclusive interviews, and experienced analysis to help you make sense of it all.
Join the TVC News Decision 2023 studios for real-time election news, results and reactions live on all our platforms from our more than 50 field reporters across the country.
Every week, Green Angle, in partnership with Wild Aid, will bring you from climate change, air pollution, and wildlife conservation. We will be traveling across Nigeria to give you on-the-ground report of the issues affecting our environment. It airs every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. only on TVC News.
Politics is defined as getting what, where, when, and how. But in the mix, many things come to play to shape the political fortune of any country.
Honorable Minister, how you misinform the public?
From the political actors to the electorate, campaign to voting, from debates to policy decisions, big events happen to engage us in constant conversation.
That's what we're looking for. Not some people who are talking about ethnicity. No.
Who is on your mind?
Don't worry.
Join me every day on Politics Tonight, where we dissect issues that shape our political destiny. Politics Tonight, weekdays on TVC News.
The National Assembly is a busy place. As the bastion of democracy, it is a place where bills are presented, motions debated, laws made, and the yearnings of the people are laid bare. Come with us as we take you through the workings of the National Assembly. We take you through plenary, committee meetings, and probes, all to ensure smooth working of the democratic process.
Information is power. Information is security. Information is knowledge. On labor length.
Okay, welcome back. And after that fast-paced one with our friend Dr. Femi Okeosanyintolu, always passionate about all things emergency recovery. Okay, well, now we shift to politics proper. And my guest this time is Honorable Efe Ofobuku. Honorable Efe Ofobuku is a two-time member of the Delta House of Assembly. He is the former special advisor to Governor Kowa on legislative matters, an APC chieftain, and he's here to talk about the governorship race coming up in his home Delta State. Of course, the candidate of APC in his state is the Deputy Senate President, Senator Omo Agege. I forgot I'm a Yoruba man, yes. Because as a Yoruba man I would have said Omo Agege, but it's not.
It's not Omo Agege, it's Agege.
Omo Agege.
Agege's son.
But it means Agege's son.
Yes.
Okay. You know, you're very welcome, Honorable.
Very
and so it's needless to say, but maybe let me just ask the formulaic question. How do you see the chances of your man, the Deputy Senate President Omo Agege,
in
this quest?
Very, very bright.
What is the toughest challenge?
Well, the toughest challenge I think we have right now is the fact that our opponents in the election, they are beginning to pose as a security threat to the voters. In recent times, they have asked their thugs and their assassins to go around in places like Ekpan community, my community, in places like PTI Junction, where you have a Unit 5, announcing that election day, if you are not coming out to vote for PDP, don't come. Otherwise, whatever you see, you'll get. There will be threats of attacks,
really?
Of maiming, killing, and all of that, to put fear in the minds of the voters. Because they know that once the voters get to the ballot box, that is the end of the matter. You will recall that in the last couple of years, this is the first time that truly that PDP in Delta State is going for elections. They are used to the carry-go type of election. When I say carry-go type of election, it means writing of results. That's what they have done in the last 24 years. I have contested elections against PDP twice.
Okay.
Twice I have defeated them. So I know the struggle to unseat them.
So you're saying that the other issue of concern now, which I'm sure you must have advised the security agencies about, is the matter of threats of violence.
Yes, threats of violence.
Political.
Yes, the Delta State APC campaign, the council, they have a department that is handling that. We're escalating it already to the various agencies of government to look into it and come to our aid to make sure that the voters are protected, the ballot is secured, and people cast their vote unhindered, and the result is declared.
So what is Omo Agege running on?
Fantastic. Let me liken it to Moses in the Bible. You will recall that Moses lived and grew up in the palace of Pharaoh. But when the time came for him to lead his people out of Egypt, he had to leave the palace. Incidentally, distinguished Senator Omo Agege cut his teeth politically under PDP. Of course, then there was no APC. So he worked with the PDP government as an appointee for some time, where I am very sure he learned the job of governance. But when the time came for him to lead the people of Delta Central Senatorial District that he represents today in the Senate, like I mentioned earlier, he had to leave the palace. He went to Labour Party. He ran for Senate for the first time on the platform of Labour Party, and he won. And since then, he has been marching on with various development strides, ranging from bills that have been passed, motions to his credit in the Senate, and of course, it's on record that the much talked about Orogun Polytechnic, Federal Polytechnic Orogun today, was a bill he conceptualized. It was passed. It was graciously signed into law by His Excellency, Mr. President. Mr. President has also released funds for the takeoff of that polytechnic. The polytechnic is, I can tell you, it's about 80% completed. Okay. They have appointed principal staff of the polytechnic already. Right now, the polytechnic has put up advert for recruitment. They are employing people, and I'm very sure by September this year, they will take off with academic activities. That is one of his star projects. There's also the oil and gas industrial park that he has brought to his senatorial district. That is being built between Eku and Abraka. I think right now, perfection of documents for the land that has been acquired is ongoing. In a moment from now, there will be a groundbreaking ceremony for that oil and gas industrial park. Then there's also, of course, for the first time in Nigeria, a senator was able to light up every community in his senatorial district. He put solar power street lights in every community in his senatorial district. He also tried to improve the power supply situation in the senatorial district when he distributed transformers across the senatorial district in every community. He also built ICT centers in different schools across the senatorial district, apart from road repairs, many federal roads that were in disrepair.
And you spoke about transformers. Well, what, with public funds or his own personal funds?
Oh, fantastic. Those transformers and the various projects that I've mentioned, he influenced the approach. Of course, it's federal government. He's in the federal government, but he was able to use his position and office to influence the installation of those transformers across the senatorial district, as well as the solar panel street lights and, building of ICT centers in schools. And of late, equally constructed a computer-based testing center where students can go into take JAMB exams, as the case may be.
At this stage, let me bring in Mr. George, who has called in from Lagos. Good morning to you, Mr. George. Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning, Uncle. Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Thank you.
Okay. Uncle, kindly permit me to start from your previous segment.
Okay, but very briefly, because we have a guest here and we're talking about something else, so it's not really cool to, keep him waiting. And
yes, what I would just simply say about that is that what the man presented is known, and those critical facilities in Lagos is the more reason why Lagos must not be allowed to slip into the hands of an angry mob that have nothing to offer. That's just what I wanted to say.
Okay, all right then. For Delta, how about for Delta State?
For Delta, the Deputy Senate President, I think this is about his third bid, trying to become the governor. My friend that lives in Warwick was making comparisons. The project that Omangige has in Delta State, let me ask your question. There are so many. How did he get the money to fund them? There are so many.
Well,
you can even say beat that of the governor.
Okay. Thank you very much for calling in. Well, you heard the inquiry.
Of course, what he has said with regards to the projects executed by His Excellency the Deputy Senate President is not far from the truth. That is just the situation we have. He has been able to leave his footprint in every community in his senatorial districts, apart from mega projects like the Federal Polytechnic that is now sited in Orogun, the oil and gas industrial park that I talked about. Of course, they have succeeded in fixing a lot of failed federal roads, and work is still ongoing. He equally influenced the complete reconstruction of St. George's College, Obinomba. Incidentally, that happens to be his alma mater. I'm emphasizing this because our opponent, who is running against us, has no alma mater. So you cannot actually trace him to any institution that he has attended. And the people of Delta, they know this. So that is why it was important that I mentioned what has happened at St. George's Grammar School. But then, primarily, talking about legislative business, the duty of a lawmaker is to make law for order, peace, and good governance. That is what the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, provides for. he has equally been involved in a lot of bills sponsored by him that have been passed, apart from motions. If I'm not mistaken, he has the highest number of bills and motions in the present 9th Senate. So he's somebody who has done his job. He has even, in fact, he has raised the bar. Anybody coming after him has a lot of work to do. I do not envy my friend and brother who just won the senatorial elections now on the platform of APC that is going to take over from him.
Because he has his work cut out for him.
Yes, there's a lot of work.
Okay, let me bring Reverend Dominic calling in from Alimosho. Good morning to you, sir.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Please, can you give me 10 seconds to backward of what we discussed earlier?
All right. It's inevitable. Mr. George started that out.
I will give you a story how Lagos works perfectly. My car was arrested last year because he was caught in camera for that I breached roadworthiness. And they asked me to go for test. When I went to test, honestly, the young man showed me my car with his handset on 23rd December 2002 that I moved out while my paper expired 22. He gave me judge to pay 40,000, roadworthiness and my papers. I said, Lagos is working, Nigeria is working. But what happened the other day? My wife asked me, how do we get what happened? I said, surely there was a camera on that road, on that lane. But to my shock, there was no single camera on that particular area. That is the capital of Lagos State. We don't need to. I saw a Lagos State government official asking a woman what happened. How could we ask in the 21st century of Lagos what happened? We are supposed to have camera that will pick everything that happened.
Okay, I think we lost Reverend Dominic because so sorry about that. He was talking about some of the advancements in Lagos. And by the way, it could be relevant because you know all about this. I mean, let's face it. Any such plans at modernization? Are there any areas of modernization that are worthy of comment in the works that Senator Omagege, is also thinking about?
Of course, having discovered that we are lagging behind in terms of infrastructure among the Committee of States, it is one of the major reasons why our people are clamoring for Omagege to come and take charge of the of affairs of the state so that we can begin to move at a pace that is commensurate with what we see elsewhere. It is true that in the last couple of years, it has been a particular political party, PDP, that has held sway. If you ask me, we have seen their best. We've had a governor from 1999 to 2007 who studied economics. From that, we had a medical doctor. From that medical doctor to another medical doctor, all PDP. But unfortunately, for 2023, they are offering us a man who says what he has is street credibility and excess local content. So we did introspection. We are asking ourselves, if the task is not easy for those with robust CV, with quality education, we do not believe that it would be easy for a man with excess local content or street credibility. Because just like you mentioned, what we have seen in Lagos is not happening courtesy of street credibility or excess local content. It's happening as a result of deep thinking, proper planning, and long-term projection. And that's what we want to see in Delta State. That is why we have resolved that the right man for the job in 2023 as it stands. And it's not just my resolution. It is the people of Delta State. It is not me. You need to come and feel the pulse of the people. What happened on the 25th? Since across some parts of the country were shouting, Obi or whatever, and they went all out. The same spirit is what is in Delta at the moment. The people, the atmosphere is charged, the people are charged up, they are eager, they are waiting for Saturday to come and cast their vote for a governor they believe in. This time around, it is going to be surely and purely government of the people, for the people, and by the people.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Yakub. Thank you for holding on in Dokwemu.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling.
And good morning to your guest.
Yes.
Good morning.
I don't have that in my mind Even in Lagos, I believe that a lot of us that a friend of the house normally call him, we know who Omagege is. Because when we are talking about politicians in this country, I think he's one of one that you will never think twice before you remember his name. Why?
But Mr. Yakub, they said it's not Omagege. They say it's not Omagege. It's Omagege. Omagege.
Forget whether it's Omagege or no Omagege. Omagege here, it will make Omagege popular. Because a lot of us, even in fact, it takes a long time before I believe that it is not from Agege.
Yeah.
Because the name sounds like
it does sound like the Agege we all know, and him being a son of Agege.
Exactly. But sorry, I'm saying that. You see, I don't have that in my mind. You see, if you know the estimate of Omagege, from if somebody can win a Senate seat, being a Labour person, first time, that time, because when that you want that election to the National Assembly, it was one of the senators that single under the party of Labour Party at that time. So, since that, the way that Omagege is now become APC, it's one of focal senators in the House. And then it is, maybe people don't know this. It is also a party man because he believes what party says. That is what happened at that time. In fact, I think kudos for what happened at that time, which I don't want to mention. He played a very, very good role because he believes in what party says. Before some people beginning to play Africata. See.
Okay. I think somehow it dropped. Okay, he's referring back to the antecedent of Senator Omagege because, and in particular, it's important always, but perhaps even now more than ever, that he's a party person. He's a party man.
Yes.
He's a team player.
Yes, he is. The fact that he's a team player is one of the things that has endeared him to a lot of. If you have been following the politics of Delta State in the last 2 weeks, there has been a lot of movement, political movement. People decamping from PDP to APC, from PDP to APC, from PDP to APC, primarily because they want to be part of the making of history on the 18th of March to support of your Maggie.
You've had a number of defections?
A whole lot from PDP. Big names, former secretary to the state government and incumbent director general of Warri Development Area Agency, the person of Comrade Vuzore Macaulay, who was also one time state chairman of Nigeria Labour Congress. They came just last week. He resigned his office, his position as DG of a major agency of the present administration, gave up his membership of PDP, and is now in APC. All is to join hands to make sure that we retrieve our state, we take back our state, and set it on a path of development and progress.
So I've discerned that you really are in an optimistic mood for the Saturday event. That you've done your work, you've done the campaigning, you maybe, I don't know, door to door. You must have taken it very, very seriously because people wanted to start going by the presidential election results and say that, look, what the numbers said there, they're not going to be very different here. First of all, that notion, in closing, what would you say about that whole notion?
Okay, first of all, if you look at the outcome of the elections on the 25th of February, every state in Nigeria, apart from the FCT, has 3 senatorial districts. Mm-hmm. I can tell you, as of today, we have 2 of those senatorial districts in our kitty. In the senatorial elections, we won 2 senatorial seats. Delta State, APC, not another party. Mm-hmm. And of course, we know what transpired in the governor's Delta North senatorial district. Otherwise, that would have gone to another party as well. So that puts us on the right path. And again, there's this popular saying that every politics is local. The governorship election also involves House of Assembly election. Now it is local politics that we'll be talking about here. Mm-hmm. The gladiators are domiciled in the state. The gladiators are within the state. There are people, we know their homes, we have access to them, we can talk to them. So this is, on this occasion, it's completely different. The people who were agitated for the presidential, what we are seeing today is that a lot of Deltans are yearning for good governance. Some of them felt for the presidency, Obi represents that. But in Delta, majority are saying that for the governorship, distinguished Senator Ovio Magege represents good governance, the face of good governance.
We've got to go now, but I want to thank you, Honorable Ethe Ofobruku, two-time member of the Delta State House of Assembly, APC chieftain. Thank you for coming along to speak with us.
It's my pleasure anytime.
And that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folare. Bye-bye for now.
Mommy, it is time for us to leave this place.
One of your earrings is missing.
We'll find it.
I'm not willing to take that chance.
Have a big plan, Mommy.
What do you want?
I want a senior position at the bank.
If anything happens to me, go through the content of this envelope and check every single thing.
It's done. No one will ever find out the truth.